to share with us your childhood money memory?
Oh, not very good. Childhood money memories, in the sense that my parents, they were this traditional Filipino mindset where money was not to be talked about,
Yes.
discussed in the meal over around dinner around the table.
Poor taste to do so.
Yes, poor taste. The two subjects you should not talk about are money and sex, and it's like taboo.
Taboo.
Let's talk about people.
Yes.
Let's talk about
Arts, probably.
arts, culture, religion.
Yes.
But money, no, you should never. So unlike, of course, the Chinese, where they always talk about money around the
part of
mealtime.
life.
How's the business? How's the sales? What did you do with the customer? So on. So there, that I guess was my background, and no one taught me how to. Although one of the blessings I think from my parents is that they were living a simple life,
Yes.
and they would kind of like teach me to save, not in a very regular way, but just said live a simple life, don't be too ostentatious, and then they walk their talk. They were
Yes.
very simple people, so there, that was my memories are funny memories. I would always, my father already was a manager of a company, so I was thinking,
Of a large company.
of a large company. So I was thinking, maybe we should be rich. But then I look around the house, there's this nothing much. I always tell people, my classmates had nice cars. They would be brought to school. My car was. It was like the drum and bugle band, when they would pass the village, all sorts of noise, and then our car was. Some of my classmates, they had cars with a little bit of rust. Mine was rust
With a little bit of paint.
with a little bit of car. and again, I would ask Dad, Dad, why is our car like this? Why is our house like that? And he would say, oh, we should live simply. We should live simply, and So there, I got that from Dad.
That it was
and from
okay.
Mom, that it was okay to
Not
live
to
simply.
keep up with.
Yes, which until now, and it's really blessed me. And that's law number 3 here. It's before luxury.
Exactly.
Before luxury, pay yourself first. So, and there, I'm very blessed by that.
Yeah, and then would you like to share with us also your awakening? But this one happened towards the latter part of your
Yes,
life.
unfortunately.
Because as a preacher, you also
Yeah.
were practicing the poverty, the
Yes,
physical
yeah.
poverty.
Absolutely. You did not write this book when I was a kid, because if you did, then
I know.
I would have changed.
That's the same comment Edward Lee gave me.
I would be much richer now. But anyway, so my awakening came when I was doing ministry work as a single man, somewhere in the late 20s.
In your late 20s.
In my late 20s, I was already having this question in my mind, because I came to know God when I was 12, started serving when I was 13, working in the slum area, living among the poor, loving it, and yet having this belief that to love the poor, I needed to be poor.
That's right.
But in my late 20s, there's this conflict within me, because so many people would come up to me and ask for prayers for all sorts of things, but 50% would be about money.
Really?
Yes,
50%?
50%. And then I could only pray for them. I had no advice to give them.
Yeah.
I could not, people tell me, how can I pay for the tuition fee of my kids? How can I? No answer. Could
You
not.
could only pray.
I could only say, let's pray. And because I didn't know anything about money. So there. And then when I got married at the age of 32, that really got me thinking, because I said, I can't be poor. Kawawa naman mga anak ko.
Exactly.
So
you were not just thinking about yourself anymore.
yeah, I
The
said.
children that you were going to bring
Yeah.
into this world.
So I had to question my basic philosophies, that God wanted me to be poor, that to be a good person, you had to be poor. So all of that had to, go back to the altar, and I had to say, God, what's your mind about money? What's your mind about wealth? And then that's my awakening. That
Did it take a long time?
Yes,
It did.
yes, it did, because I love the Saint Francis model of poverty.
Poverty.
I did not realize that Saint Francis was celibate, and I was married.
That's the main difference.
Yeah, and that I went back actually to the lesson of my dad and my mom. They were married, they had 6 kids, they lived simply, they were generous to others.
Yes.
So I said, I think God's call for me is not poverty, but generosity and simplicity. So there.
When you talk about generosity, you cannot give what you don't have.
Yes, exactly.